Okay, we are off and running. So, Kay, thank you very much for making this happen today.
It's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine, I should say. As we record this, I'm in Washington State. We got a global community, so that's in the upper left-hand corner of the United States. It is Wednesday at 1 p.m. And where are you and what time or day is it?
I'm in New Zealand, a little town called Levin, very rural. Um, and it is now Thursday at 9 a.m. So I'm a whole day ahead.
The wonders of the world. I've been lucky enough just to do a lot of traveling over the course of my life, through various jobs that I've had, but I never made my way to New Zealand. Am I missing out?
Oh, really? Oh, you must come. Oh, you must come. I
What's
have a spare room.
yeah, oh, that's fair. That's wonderfully kind of you. I guess for somebody like myself that's never been there, how would you describe the country, and then how would you describe the little town that you live in?
Um, the country is beautiful. It's beautiful. I was born and raised and lived most of my time in the UK. So it's pretty much the same size as the UK with both islands, but there are only something like 5 million people live here.
Oh, wow, okay.
I know. So if you think of London, my eldest son lives in London, and the people in New Zealand would fit into a suburb, So it's
Interesting.
sparsely populated, but it's very chilled. I couldn't have done it at a younger age. I couldn't have lived here at a younger age, but now I'm like, yeah, I can handle this.
So there's not a lot of hustle and bustle.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. The only hustle that goes down is in my paddock at the where I work out.
What's the weather like?
It's generally speaking, allegedly 5 degrees higher all the time than the weather in the UK. So there's still seasons,
Okay.
um, but not harsh winters. You might get a ground frost every so often. Um, but generally it's just pleasant. It's yeah.
For somebody, an outsider like myself, we think about the UK or think about London, we think about maybe being a bit on the gray and gloomy side. And that's what people generally think about because I live outside of Seattle, Washington, and it's associated with rain and clouds. And it's totally warranted as far as I'm concerned. It
Mm.
is that way more than I want it to be. Is it sunny where you are? Is it overcast?
Yeah,
What's it like?
no, it's just gorgeous light all the time.
Oh,
When I
that
was
sounds amazing.
It is. I used to come and visit my daughter. My daughter moved here first. I used to come and visit, and I would constantly be going, "Look at the light." I enjoy my photography, so I'm like, "Oh, look at the light! Look at the
Mm,
light!" And when I decided to move here, and at first I was like, what am I doing here? Really, what am I doing here?" Um, and my daughter always used to say, "Mom, you came towards the light." So,
that's great.
and that's it. It's just beautiful light all the
But
time.
there's something about that. Like I said, I mentioned here in the greater Seattle area, when it's beautiful in its summer, it really is beautiful. It's stunning
Mm,
because all those months and months and months of gray and rain make everything really lush and green when the nice weather comes. But unfortunately, there's just nowhere near as much of the nice weather as I wish there would. But there is. And maybe it's because it's so gray here. When it is sunny, I realize it, how wonderfully powerful sunlight is and a beautiful clear sky. It just
yeah,
is good for the soul.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, we could
It
use.
is. I miss the snow.
Mm,
I used to ski a lot, and I miss the French Alps, my spiritual home for a while. But I do miss that. But that's about the only thing of my kids. So
I was motivated to reach out to you, again, not to make this all about your age, because I don't know if that's insulting or it's
no, no,
okay
no.
or
It's
whatever,
all about my age.
but I find it, quite frankly, very inspiring. I've been in strength and conditioning and fitness and CrossFit for a really long time now, and I feel confident saying that just based upon that experience, I get a good, I think I have a pretty good barometer as to, um, people that are committed, people that aren't, why people make progress, why they don't, why it's some phase in their life. Maybe they had a kid, they accept the fact that it's okay that I fall out of shape. They get to a certain phase in life or a certain age, and now I'm going to accept the fact that my waistline just grows every year. I'm going to just accept the fact that I
Yeah.
look at a set of stairs and I have dread. Like I'm just going to accept these things because I've been told that. And when I see people that seem to be operating outside the boundaries that society has politely tried to put on people, I always find it fascinating. And so you
Mm.
just recently, did you have a birthday today, my time, or yes, your time? We were in two different time zones. When was
Today,
it?
your day. Today, your day. It was
Okay.
yesterday for me.
Yes.
So,
So happy
yeah,
birthday. And how old were you?
thank you. 69.
69.
Holding. So I'm like the Braveheart hold, I'm holding for the next year. Like, not going to go 70.
And I'm always fascinated when I find people that are living some sort of a life or choosing a path that is different than what society has generally defined the
Mm.
boxes that people feel the need to be in. I mean, so, the workout for me today, I have to go into the garage after our talk here and do the squat cleans. So I guess
Yeah,
that was yesterday
I
for
did
you.
that. I did that yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's a very fair thing for me to say that if we took a poll of all the 69-year-olds in the world and asked them how many did heavy, relative to them, heavy squat cleans as a training session
Mm.
today, you would not have a lot of people standing on your left and your right.
No, no, I'm a bit of a rare breed, I must admit. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So,
And but that's part of me. That's part of who I am. Is is being different, accepting that I'm different, if you know what I mean. I've never had any inclination to be normal at
mm,
all. So, but yeah, I refuse to accept that, like you say, the expectation is that as you age, you can't do things. And, I can't go and lift compost bags into my car at the DIY place. And so
hmm.
I just don't accept that.
Where did that attitude come from?
I don't know. I think because it was really interesting, sort of sitting down and thinking about my journey. Um, I don't know. I think I've always been, I don't know what they call it these days. It's like a thought leader. So everything I've ever done has been at the edge of something. So when I trained in sports massage, there were no other sports masseurs. It wasn't a thing. People
Mm,
didn't go and get massage, sports massage. Um, and then when I trained, did my personal and business coaching, nobody had heard of life coaching. And, I was always at that outside edge of something. So I don't know, it just has always been there, I think.
are you a
Um,
curious person?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like number one thing, curiosity. And curiosity is key in my world. I don't understand how people can go through life and not ask questions, not be curious, and not
Mm.
think, how does that work? Or how can I do that better? Or why did I do that? All those questions, and coaching is all about questions. In fact, fun fact, where is it? Oh, it's covered up. I have a question mark
Oh,
tattoo,
nice.
and that
That's
is
very
to
fitting.
remind me that A, everything is a choice, and B, the quality of your life is determined by the questions that you ask. So,
I think that's very well said, quite frankly. Most people tend to hang out with their peers, in one way,
mm,
shape, or form. It's uncommon that somebody that's 95 hangs out with somebody who's 17 years old. Like it just doesn't go that way. So,
yeah.
do you hang out with your peer group in your local town? And if so, are you markedly different from all of them with regards that you're out doing squat cleans? Are you hanging around with a fit group of
Yeah,
people? You know,
no.
what's your circle?
It's certainly not my age.
Okay.
I there's something inside me that hopes out there is a group of people of my age that I could connect with, but it's not. It's generally 15, 20 years younger than me.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is? And what, I mean, when you do rub elbows with somebody, you know, of your general age, do they ask you like what you got going on? You're seem to be doing things different than I like. Is there curiosity from others, or are you just the outsider doing squat cleans?
I don't think that I've not really come across curiosity,
Interesting.
but I do. I think inside of them, there's that bit of, huh, maybe
Mm,
I could do that, but they
sure.
wouldn't voice it. It's not like out there. And I work out literally in the paddock. There's not a lot of passing traffic, but I relish almost the passing traffic because I would love to have that person look at me and think, if she can do that, then I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not being big-headed or arrogant.
Oh
It's
no,
just
for
that,
sure.
yeah, it's just that I'd love to inspire people. My granddaughters, I think they think I'm normal. I
Good.
think yeah, which is great. They they think and they see me and my daughter working out all the time. And the 11-year-old, just the other day, my daughter, the 11-year-old came to my daughter and said, I've been practicing push-ups every morning
Oh,
and I'm
that's
up to 5 now. And she'd been doing it in her bedroom, unbeknown to anybody. But she was up to her 5 push-ups.
I will say for the people watching this at home, or if they're listening to it audio-wise, if it sounds a bit choppy, we've lost connection a couple times. So in the post editing here, I'm going to be splicing some stuff in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe I got a couple of questions I want to ask you. Maybe I'll pick up the pace just in case we lose connection for good. Um, you know, what does what motivates you these days just to get up every morning and just keep making different choices than most people who are knocking on the doors of 70 years old?
Um, Doggedness, I think, part of it is I don't give in very easily.
That goes a
Um,
long way.
yeah, and like there's what's the alternative? The alternative there is for me, there's no alternative, other than sit on the couch and die slowly. So I
Hmm.
have an adage. This is my life story. It's like live, 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 die, and that's it. It's not live, 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 and slowly creep into decrepitude and die in a nursing home somewhere. So if I died doing a pull up outside, I would be very happy.
It's funny that you say that because that's very close to the general concept that the founder of CrossFit, Greg Glassman, would laid out as to the point of what his thought was on fitness journey over the course of your lifetime. It was the goal is to have as high of a level of fitness for as long as humanly
Yeah,
possible, and not have what most of society historically has suffered from, which is, the last 30 years of your life are this like miserable purgatory of decline and injustices and loss of functional capacity and like
mm,
what a long like decades of just life oozing out of you. Is like, no, like fight and resist that for as long as
yeah,
humanly possible to maintain the most functional capacity, which would also give you the highest quality of life possible for
yeah,
the longest conceivable span. And it sounds like,
yeah,
whether you ever heard of that theory of his or not, you're actually like living it day in and day out.
yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. Exactly it. There is no alternative. And when I found CrossFit, and like I said, I can't remember when it first sort of came in, but it intrigued me and it challenged me and continues to challenge me. And I think a lot of people when they get older, they haven't got that anything to strive for.
Mm, hmm.
Whereas I'm like, I'm going to get a pull up, even though, I have
Yeah,
never got one in 69 years, but I'm going to get one.
I believe you.
And yeah, go, Pat. Thank
I
you.
believe you. I have a
I
whole
will.
heart.
I will one day. I don't know when, but I will get one. The same with handstands. I just love the well, literally constantly varied. All the different things you get to do and are pushed to do. A handstand, I did my first handstand, and that's ever, because I never did one as a kid, at the age of 62.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And
That,
and my yeah, I was practicing. I was over in the UK. I was practicing in my son's kitchen while everybody was out and they were at work. And when they found out, when they came back, it's like, oh my God, Mum, what if? What if you'd fallen? It's like that never entered my head. I was there in the kitchen trying to get a handstand.
yes, and true, and fair enough. I mean, somebody who loves you and cares about you should ask that question. But the other part is the mere fact that you're engaged in activities like that is why you have the quality of life that you do. Because
Yeah.
there's so many things wrapped into continuing to push your body, like, relative to where you are in your
Mm,
fitness journey. Like, if you're pushing yourself, yeah, you get the bone density, the range of motion, the muscle growth, like all those are all wonderful things. But then there's just like the confidence that comes along with doing stuff like that every day that somebody who's
yeah.
not engaged in those activities, they're going to carry themselves a bit different. They're going to be a bit more
Mm.
timid to try something, but you're going to have the confidence to be like, I'll give it a shot. I might be able to
Yeah.
do that."
Yeah. I think you saw, I recently went, because I bought myself a motorhome, and I recently went on a solo trip right the way around the very north of the island. And I can ski like a dream, but I can't walk downhill very well. Don't know why. I think it's up here. And there were some huge sand dunes. And I was
Mm.
out there on my own, walking up and down these sand dunes without a thought of, I might not be able to do this, or I might not be able to get down again, or what if I fall? And that, and you're right, that confidence allows
Hmm.
me to just go live life.
And just again, it's just the quality of life. I know that it's all relative. But like for example, I'm going to turn 50 this year. And I can remember well enough when I was a little kid, if I thought of somebody who was 50,
Yeah.
I thought they had one foot in the grave, to be quite
Yeah.
honest with you,
Yeah.
and you had to be overweight. Like just you had to be like I saw what the 50-year-olds look like. And I learned that 40s didn't have to be how I told 40s was going to be. 50s, I don't think the 50s have to
Mhm.
be that way. You're living proof that the 60s don't. Like, so I think the
Mm.
choices that you make nutritionally, the physical activity that you do or don't engage with, you can set yourself on such a remarkably different path than what most human
Yeah.
beings have done. And you, like you said, your family is seeing you do that, and you might be unbeknownst to yourself, like setting them on a different path, which is such a
Yeah.
wonderful gift
Yeah.
to give to somebody. And so that's kind of why I wanted to help you, have you share your story as well. But I'm curious, uh, again, thinking that maybe our connection might be cut soon here. What have you learned? Because you've been active your entire life. What have you learned, or what is different now at 69? Or is it just as simple as, the weights are going to be a little bit lower. I got to be okay with a bit of a longer warm up, or I don't know. What would be your description of what's different now, having been active your entire life?
I think I'd like to say acceptance. I think there's a fine balance between accepting where you are and at the very same time not accepting where you are.
Mm,
So I
begrudgingly accepting it.
it is that fine balance of again, I was always best at whatever I did. Now, and
Mm.
that might have meant that I didn't do some of the things that I knew I wouldn't be best at, but
Sure.
I was always best. I step into a CrossFit box, I'm going to be beaten by everybody unless there's a newbie walked into the class and I can like, yeah, I can get them. But
Hmm.
it's that acceptance that yes, I am where I am, but I can also have those goals to move me forward to where I want to be. It's such a fine juggling act. And that belief also that I can do this, and B, I can improve. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? It's such
Absolutely.
a lot of mindset. It's a definite mindset game, all of it. It's like I still have those conversations in my head of should I be going harder, or can I go harder, or am I frightened to go harder? And just I just love it. I just love the whole thing. But it is acceptance of where you are. Because I see the beasts on, in the Facebook
Oh
group. I
my
mean,
goodness, sure.
they are like beasts. But, and I don't use that word lightly, sometimes during my massaging times, I used to have 40-year-olds who'd come for massage. They were still playing like five-a-side football in the UK. And um, they would they would say, one of them, I remember, he said, my doctors told me to stop playing football
Mm.
at 40. And I'm like, no, all you have to do is listen to your body and accept that actually, as a 40-year-old, you might need to look at mobility and flexibility more than
Hmm.
more than
Probably not an
speed.
all or nothing decision.
Yeah, yeah. So it's accepting where you are and asking those questions. Okay, how can I get better from where I am right now? Because you can't change where you are, but
Hmm.
you can move forward from where you are. Does that make sense?
100%. No, I
Yeah.
agree. And there are some ridiculous beasts in the community. We've got people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And and we've got, I'm sure you see as well, we've got some just incredibly strong,
Mm.
powerful women in the Linchpin
Yeah,
community. Like,
yeah,
just astonished by the loads and the times and the
yeah,
pull-ups and like it's crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I look at them and the speed, definitely speed
Yeah.
is one thing that I'm missing as time goes by. Definitely slowing down. But yeah, speed is just amazing. But again, I have to accept that, yeah, I'm still doing more than
Oh,
the average Joe.
100%.
Yeah,
100. I mean, most people, I mean, the sad truth is most people, I don't care what age you are, they're not doing anything.
no,
They're not
no.
doing anything at all. They gave up a long time ago. And
Mm,
because life's hard, whether it's work or kids or whatever it is, like life will present you a very palatable reason as to why you can't work out. And it'll be,
yeah,
and your friends will
yeah,
accept it, and you can latch on to that if you want. But there's somebody
yeah.
who's living darn near your same life, and they're choosing to work out. So you could,
Mm.
most people could do it if they want. Out of all the different areas in the world where you could have landed, what made you make the decision to hop over to Linchpin?
Oh, that was well. um, when me and my daughter is we left the box back in 2021, basically because we had to. But I then went into we had to work out at home. So I hunted around lots of programs. We had a look at lots of programs and tried a couple. Um, but I was never really, there was something, I was never really satisfied
Huh.
somehow. And I am a bit of a nerd, like I say. I've got every workout written down that I've ever done, like physically written down. So I thought, well, I don't need to pay for programming. I can just go through what I've already done. That didn't work. It didn't give me what I needed. And then I looked at, well, I can program myself and looked at the whole, how to program. And then I came across your book.
Hmm.
Um, and downloaded that. And then I found Linchpin because of the book. And I'm like,
Oh, that's
I
cool.
don't need to do my own programming. I can follow this. And that was it. I never looked back. And it's been brilliant.
I'll
It,
tell
it,
you, we're lucky and fortunate and blessed. I say this all the time. I'm sure people think that I'm exaggerating. As far as I'm concerned, we have the coolest, kindest, most supportive
mm,
community on the planet. And which people, how can that be? It's online. Trust me, it is. The people are
yeah,
insane and awesome. And it's because of folks like you. I don't know what happens, but we get the best people in there, and you're part of what makes that group special. So I mean, just please,
thank you.
know that I appreciate you and thank you for doing what you're doing.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah,
Absolute pleasure.
the pleasure's all here. So yeah, I'll let you go before we lose connection one more time, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna go do my squat cleans that you did yesterday, and I will see
I've got a
you.
rest day.
You get a rest. Yes, I'm jealous of that. I'm jealous of the time change. And I will see you in the Facebook group. So, Kay, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.